The saga of the check engine light continues. Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am starting off my day in a very cold way. It dropped down to like the 40s last night. Inside the van it was in the 50s. It was chilly. It was this morning, and now it's pretty windy. But today I'm starting off my day with the first test to check my status on my van. I was told that I need to, every time I get gas, look at my fuel gauge, make sure that it goes up and down, because a sensor could have gone awry. Now, if it continues to reflect that there is movement, it is not the sensor, and more than likely it is a lesser evil. At the same time, it could still be my gas cap. So, as I'm getting gas here today, we're gonna make sure this thing moves, because, yeah, we need an accurate readout. Just kidding. Well, that's starting off with a bang. The pump wasn't working, so the little touch screen, no matter how much you touched it, it wouldn't work. So I'm gonna have to move to another pump. Okay, let's try this one. Maybe this one will work. Okay, this one's working. So I think today my song of the day needs to be the Aaliyah song, "If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again." Yeah, I think that's a good one because, wow, challenges already this morning. I think I'm also gonna have to get like another layer. It is cold outside. So I think I'm gonna put on a sweater. I'm gonna dump my trash. I need to find my hat. I don't know where it is. So since I don't know where that is, I'm gonna have to figure out some other things. And that's okay, I can do this. But just trying to make a mental checklist. I've already mapped my course for the day and everything. So now it's just about executing all the steps. So, bracing myself for the outside. I don't like the cold. Okay, somewhere in here, I should have my sweater. Oh yeah, there it is. Whew. Okay. Okay, I can do this. So overall, it looks like gas was $2.79 a gallon, $18.28 after everything. And the receipt just got whipped in the wind so bad that it's all bent now. So I'm just gonna sit this up here and I'll scan it at my next destination for fetch. I also went ahead and got myself one of my little milk teas. This is a taro milk tea. So this is gonna be how I start my morning off. Instead of doing breakfast this morning, I thought this would be just as good. And wow. Okay, now is the real test. Does the fuel gauge go up? Of course, the only way to find out is by putting the key in, turning on the van, and yes, the gauge did go up. So it is not the sensor, it is not likely that. So that's good. This process is just gonna be trial and error until I can get it back to Texas. So I'm just monitoring all these things. And that was one of the main things. I also, whenever I pulled out of my site over at the Cracker Barrel this morning, I looked below me to make sure there were no like puddles of oil or gas or any kind of fluids at all. There was nothing. So that's good. Both of those factors make me super optimistic that it is something much smaller. And so therefore it might not be so expensive also. So that's nice. Not to mention that might keep me from getting on the road for a while if it is something big. So I want to make sure that it's something that I'm monitoring as I go, like the guy told me to, and like my friend told me to, and like my dad told me to. And I figure that each of them have had their own unique experiences with things like this. So we're going to trust them, because that's what you do, is you ask people that you trust and then they give you information so that you can trust it. So overall, so far starting off the day pretty good. I'm gonna be driving about 41 miles south of Kansas City today and stopping off at a place. I'll be sharing that on my very next video, but I will share a few things along the way with you. Driving in this wind is gonna be wild, so I'm probably gonna be like this a lot today. So by the time that I get to the end of my day, I'm gonna probably be pretty exhausted. Fighting the wind on the road is never fun, but especially whenever it's just like brutal. Well, today might start off a little slower than I thought it would. We've been already sitting here for like 5 minutes because the light doesn't turn for some reason, but I think it finally turned. But like, I've never seen so many people at a gas station just trying to leave. It's okay. It is so par for the day today. Made it a little bit further and then the light changed again. So we may be here for a minute again. Fortunately for me, I have time today. And as I'm sitting here, I'm just kind of looking at the clouds. They're still moving. It looks like there might be another storm coming in. So I just want to kind of get out of the path of the storm. So going south, I think is going to be smart. Don't know how much I'm going to accomplish today, but you know, patience is important when you're traveling. A lot of people are doing their day-to-day bustle and they are busy and they are stressed and they are trying to get places fast. And because of that, sometimes it gets erratic. And when congestion like this happens, it turns bad. But for me, I can be like, okay, I'm going to calm down. I'm just going to take a breath and then I'll go and it'll be fine. Okay, we finally made it to the light. But it appears that the light in that direction only goes to a parking lot. So it is a very short time that the light goes green. Ooh, but we got it, we can go. Literally 15 to 20 minutes of just trying to exit the Casey's. I would say this is a very nice area. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. However, some of the planning, not the best in way of how the cross streets kind of move with the lights. And that's okay. I understand that they probably didn't see the need for those lights to be timed differently because, I mean, how frequently are you going to be packed at the gas station like it was? I mean, maybe, but like it just doesn't logically make sense if you have a through road with lots of traffic and then you have just like a parking lot that empties into a light for them to have the same amount of time. It just kind of doesn't, but wow. So now I just have to wait on this light and then I am home free toward the highway and toward the south. Lots of cool things up here though, so I am interested in coming back now that I have a little bit more of the lay of the land after visiting my friend and just kind of hanging out and stuff. So I have some ideas. Kansas City's always been one of those places that I've been a little bit hesitant to do too much in because there are a lot of people who will tell you it's very dangerous here. And I'm not saying it's not dangerous because I'm sure it is. However, there are some really nice communities. There are some areas that you can stay. I definitely recommend the Cracker Barrel that I stayed at last night. Everyone was super friendly. I was very panicked because of the storms and they were very understanding of that. So I appreciate them. But yeah, there are ways you can come to cities. You just have to find the safe place to be while you sleep. We're turning off on exit 131 toward Butler.
Then take the first right onto State Route.
But instead of turning toward Butler, we're going in the opposite direction. I have something kind of fun that I want to go check out. My parents actually came out here and checked it out before me, so it should be interesting. So I'm about 5.8 miles away from where I'm going. And this is just a smaller site, but it should be an interesting one. There's lots of great history in Missouri. Now this site that I'm going to is a historic stop here in Missouri. There's lots of great history. And I've kind of, each time that I've come to Missouri, tried to seek out a little bit of it. So I thought this would be kind of interesting. Again, the full video will come out tomorrow, but yeah, I'm really interested in seeing this one after my parents told me about it. I believe it is ADA accessible, but I'm going to find out for sure and I'll share all of that. But until then, I'm just taking in the views. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. There is another site that I wanted to go to, but because it rained, last time I came in this area, it had rained and it was pretty rough because of it. And so I just decided I'm going to wait on that one because, again, I'm not trying to get stuck because it's a little bit more remote and I didn't have good cell service out there the last time. So I am going to forgo that and I'll just hit it the next time I come back. I can definitely see some big old puddles on this so good. Okay, I can see from the flag here that it is still kind of windy, but overall I made it. So I'm gonna go have a little adventure. Now with that wind, I'm not sure how long this adventure is gonna last. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and set up my lunch before I go on the little adventure path here. And for lunch today, I think I'm gonna polish off the last 2 tacos from my meal last night. So they're already in the refrigerator. They're already in the Hot Logic pan. So all I need to do is set the Hot Logic into the back on my back mat because it gets warm. And I'll turn it on with the tacos, and then normally, I've noticed that it's been taking about an hour to get to like a really warm place with something that's like super cold. These shouldn't be super cold because even though they're in the fridge, they're just like mid-temp cold, I guess. So I'm hoping like 30 minutes we'll see. So that's the plan. I'm going to get everything ready for my adventure. I'm going to get the Hot Logic ready, and then I'm going to go out. And maybe by the time I'm finished, I'll be able to eat. We'll see. So I need to move some things around. I need to reach inside, grab this. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. And I need to reach over here and move this bottle and grab this. Set it right here. For those of you who are wondering how the Hot Logic works, it has like this like heating tray right at the bottom. And then everything else is this Mylar material. So you just like set things in it, zip it up, and then it has the 12 volt that comes out the back on this side. Again, it's not as fast as my Road Pro, but I'm really trying to give it like a good college try on this to see how it works best. And I found that if I have activities and I need something to take a little bit longer so that I can have the activity and then it'll be ready, this is a good option. With the Road Pro, if I was to put it in, it would be done far too soon because from frozen to fully cooked, I can do it in 20 minutes. For just heating things up, it's about 10 minutes. And so that's going to be not enough time for me to do this entire adventure. So I really needed to be able to take the extra time. So the Hot Logic works really well for that. And it's so far pretty efficient when it comes to the amount of power that it pulls. So I'll see where the power station is, and then we'll check it after everything's heated up to see how much power that we lose. This is just an ongoing test that I'm doing here on the channel to help you guys out. I had someone who asked me about this, Michael Bonderton. Michael Bonderton, if you are watching this, I hope you're enjoying these tests because you asked for it. Here they are. So, oh my gosh, look at this. This is disgusting. I told you guys it was muddy. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. This is a very tight plug. And then I turn on the power station. It's at 100%. It's already zipped up, and I just need to make the cord stay inside. So maybe I'll turn it like this so the cord doesn't have issues. So that's good to go. Ooh, I just got back to the van. I had to lose my sweater because it started to get warm. Let's check on the food. Okay, let's see. We've only lost 1% of the battery. It's feeling pretty warm, but I don't know that it's warm enough yet, but we're about to find out. Okay, here we go in Operation Test Tacos. Actually, that's warm enough. Okay, so I only lost 1% of the Jackery. Okay, I did notice something kind of a little strange. So with the Jackery, it is highly efficient. It is a great power station. The V2 is by far superior to most power stations that I've tried. And I'm not just saying that, it legit is. The way that it uses its abilities when it comes to cooking devices, definitely good. I did attempt in one test to plug this into a different power unit, and it took more power. So the Jackery is part of the reason why this does not take as much power to use. Very factual information. It almost makes no sense when it comes to that, other than the fact that not all power stations are created equally. For example, I used my Alpha ESS whenever I first got this in and I was testing it out, and it pulled for about an hour's worth of use. It pulled about 12% off of the battery. With the Jackery, using it for about an hour, it only pulled 3%. So that kind of tells you a lot. But that just goes to show that depending on how you have your setup going in your van and what size Hot Logic you get too, because there's multiple sizes, that it could vary on your response. But today, 1%, and I was gone for about 25 minutes probably. And now I have this nice deliciousness that I can eat. Again, these are also smaller items. They're not super hard to heat up. If it was a more dense thing, it might be a little harder. But, woohoo! I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm gonna eat my my lunch now, and ooh. Oh yeah, they're warm. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this not on camera because you guys don't want to see me eat. It's fine. After I finish this though, we're hitting the road. I don't know where we're gonna go next. It's really windy still. It's super, super windy still, so I have to figure that out. BRB. Okay, lunch is finished, so I went ahead and cleaned out my little tray. I'm gonna put it back in here for storage, and then I should be ready to hit the road again. This thing is handy, I will say that. Is it as fast as the Road Pro? No. Is it good for days like today, where again, I wanted to set it up, have an adventure, come back to the van? Yes, yes. Not to mention, it's really cute. Also, I picked where I'm going, and it's not really logical to most people to drive all over the place like I do, and I understand that. But there is a state park that I put on my list that I wanted to come back to because the last time I was here, one of the trails that I went to was not open, and I wanted to do that one. So I think I'm about to drive 2 hours to go do that trail. I'm glad I ate lunch because we're gonna be on the road for 2 hours now. But I don't know when I'm gonna be back in this area again, and so I wanna go ahead and do this. It means something to me, it's important. And so I'm gonna get my Live Life Fully neck protector up, and I'm gonna take off for a 2-hour drive. Just another day of my life. This is normal. That sounds all the mud. All the mud. Okay, so apparently I get to do 20 miles on this road. I'm hoping that it's not gravel the whole time, but I'm just kind of managing it. I'm making sure there's no soft spots. I'm just looking around. There's clearly mud on the sides, and then like this section right here in the middle, when I see tracks, I just kind of make sure that I don't go into the tracks so much that I get pulled into them. You know, basic country road driving. You know, every day of my life is a little bit different. So today I'm going to drive 2 hours to go to a hike after going to a cool historic site. Tomorrow, who knows? I have no idea what tomorrow brings. I know that tomorrow evening I'm going to check into a campsite, but until then, the world is my oyster. So this is going to be great. I'm so excited about just getting out and moving around. And because it is a little bit cooler today, it feels fabulous for an adventure. And so I'm sure there's going to be some neat things that I find. Okay, so I made it into Appleton City, and as I was driving through, I saw something I wanted to share with you guys. It is so cool. I always love finding interesting small things in different towns, and this is definitely one of those. Look at this mural. Is this not cool? It's called Traintown, USA, Appleton City. There's a few other things. Let's get a closer look. So apparently this was painted in 2018. You can find the artist Shelley Mullaney Bales on social media. And it starts off here with sometimes you find yourself in the middle of nowhere, and sometimes in the middle of nowhere you find yourself. But as we walk down, you see that's just the beginning of this. They have one of the iconic quilt squares on here. I'm assuming their mascot is a bulldog. Memories are made here, so you can take a picture there. Up at the top is another quilt square, and then this is a nice tribute to religion in the community, but also those who have fought. But then as you continue going, there is a mineral well. There are some of the businesses that have been around since the beginning. Pretty neat. Again, Traintown, USA. And so they have a train here as well as some of their industry kind of off to the side. Looks like this is probably a depot, and then some of the fields that they have. They're known for farming in this area. And then up here, L.E. Bailey proprietor, and that is for the meat market, another quilt square. You can see again, it just keeps going with the farm. And then as we get over here, this is a tribute to the Native Americans in this area. So this is really cool. And the expanse of this is huge. So just for context, the entire wall, this is probably at least 50 to 60 feet long. pretty neat, which is why I had to stop. That was really neat to see. So you never know what you're gonna find whenever you're just driving through. This is neat. I love finding things like this in smaller towns. It just kind of shows you that the heart and soul of a community looks a lot of different ways. And so it's pretty cool. I have to say, as I've been driving along again, there's been fields, there's been a lot of cool stuff, but this and the bright colors, just standing off kind of to the left-hand side, I was like, ooh, I have to stop. I have to stop. So I'm happy that I did. It brought me permagrin. So just looking at it, the talent that took to do this is just so great. Oh, but wait, there's more. I'm driving through their downtown area, and just beyond the place over here where I was, you go across the railroad tracks and they have that depot in some of those older buildings, but then it's just kind of cute. But there's a few other things also that are really neat. There's a carousel across the way. It's not open, but it's over there. It's pretty neat. I'm gonna see if I can cross the road and see it better. Look at this. This is so cool. This is just really neat to be able to see. Oh, it's so pretty. And apparently you can go in there from Memorial Day to Labor Day. That is even better. Apparently Appleton City was voted on as one of the best rural Missouri towns. So I can see why. They have a good little historic downtown that they're working on. They have some neat history here with the train depot, and then there's a train parked over. There's cool art. It's really fun here. So I'm happy that I drove through this area because I haven't seen it any other time. So this is kind of neat. I might have to visit this during the more busy season to see what else they have going on, but oh my goodness, this was cool. It just goes to show you never know what you'll find when driving around, and that's why you should take the scenic route, and that's definitely what I'm doing today. It has been so fun coming here and just seeing this little community and everything along the way from the historic stop I stopped off this morning at. You know, you can have a good day or a bad day when you're doing van life. And when you wake up and you're looking at your van and going, oh no, something's wrong, it can easily take a turn and you can have a negative Nancy attitude. Or you can monitor things, be cautious, and continue forward with positivity and joy, and then you find cool stuff. As for me, I'm gonna be choosing joy. Every single time I'm going to be choosing joy. And I think that that is the most valuable lesson that we can have at any point on my channel, is that it is a state of being and a state of mind to see the world. And if you choose to see it as everything is bad and gloomy and terrible, it's always going to be that. But if you see it as I can find the joy in everything, or even if it's a simple joy, like I've mentioned here on the channel before, I woke up. Some people didn't get that option. So even if I'm facing controversy and craziness and everything kind of doing weird stuff, I can sit there and dwell in that and just let that just take my entire existence. Or I can sit there and say, you know what? There's this one little tiny thing that's not so good, but there's all these other things that are really good. So that's where I choose to be. Now, with that said, I'm not to my destination yet. I've still got a little ways to go, but I'm going to see if I can find some other joys along the way, and we'll talk about those tomorrow. But for now, guys, I'm going to leave you with that moral of the story. Be positive, find joys, don't let life stress you out, and live life fully. Remember, guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. I'm about to go find myself a good time and go on a little hike. Maybe something else will pop up along the way. But I'll see you next time. Bye. This place was epic.